can't say let's go Brandon though.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Buddy Spirits and Cigars.
I think that's I think we just kind of screwed up. But anyway, go ahead.
Oh, do we need to start again? Yeah, I'll start again.
Yeah. Start again now while it's early. Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Buddy Spirits and Cigars, and we are back for another episode. And this will be the second one for the year, and we actually hit 10 episodes. Our last one we posted was number 10.
Really?
Seems like we just started.
Yeah.
But anyway, so before we get started on our show, we want to make a gigantic shout out to On the Floor Liquor in Sallisaw, Oklahoma. If you guys are over that way, definitely stop in there, and they will take care of you guys. Been a gigantic help to us on our show, and we really feel like they deserve some recognition. So, On the Floor Liquor, Sallisaw, Oklahoma, great people.
Worth going in.
Go in, have a good time, talk to them. They're really nice people, and they'll help you as much as they can. So, from Buddy Spirits and Cigars, we want to say On the Floor Liquor, we greatly appreciate you guys. Anyway, past that, we have a guest on our show today. This is Fletch. So he's joining us today, and we're going to have a great time on this episode. And without further ado, let's get into the bourbon.
Okay.
Been waiting on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is one that we have not had the pleasure of trying yet. This is a highly sought after bourbon. This is Stagg Jr.
I've actually had Stagg Jr. before.
Well, not this one.
Well, no, a different batch.
This one is batch 17, and they, lots of people, being they, lots of people were in some bourbon groups, and they're talking it up. So we're going to give our opinion of said. So we had somebody mention to us that what about doing some ratings? So we're going to go 0 through 5. 0 being no points and is absolutely horrible and nobody likes it or that individual. So we'll go through, and each of us will give it's a all-inclusive score. So that will include the nose, the color, the finish, all of that stuff on the bourbon. And so today's score will obviously be 20 at the most that you can get because we have a guest. Otherwise, if it's a normal show, it'd be 15. So anyway, let's nose it.
Yeah, math is hard.
Math is hard, okay.
There's a lot going on. A really pleasant smell.
Man, it is. Like, obviously the bourbon notes, but is there some cherry?
Or some sort of...
Maybe a little sherry.
Yeah, like a sherry cask.
I don't know. It's effing good. I don't know. I think I like this better.
It reminds me of a
sherry
sherry cask finish.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
But you can kind of also get the heat that comes with the high proof from it, I think.
Yeah, it's got, you can tell there's some ethanol.
Get the heat, boys.
Yeah. Just
What proof is this?
We'll discuss that here in just a second. I don't want Cam to go into this thinking...
I mean, I can smell it, and I can know.
Well, off the nose, what do you think?
That's going to burn a bit.
Well, let's give her a taste and see.
Finally.
oh wow, man,
That is smooth.
it's not. I don't feel like it's hot. I mean, I
That's
got a
correct.
No.
nice Kentucky hug a little bit, but it's not burning. Cameron.
It's a little hot.
It's more like a Kentucky pat on the shoulder.
Yeah, it's
than a
not
hug.
really.
It's not
yeah.
really.
Y'all mentioned sherry casks. It's those that don't sit well with me. They just
This is
hit
not
me.
finished in a
I
sherry
know it's
cask.
not, but
Yeah.
it's
reminiscent.
in that vein. Yeah, it's reminiscent of it.
Yeah.
And
And you just
those don't sit well with me. I don't. It just hits my tongue and says,
well, this one hits my tongue and it says.
So
Man.
after I take another sip of this, and I smell right afterwards, I'm getting some vanilla notes. I mean, it just, it hits you pretty good. That's good. So, Cam, 128.7 proof.
Boy.
This is the hottest, this is the highest proof of alcohol that we have done on this show. And I'll be honest, it's
does
not
not-
harsh like a
No, I mean,
No,
it's,
alcohol.
Not usually a proof that high. This is
Yeah.
a lot smoother
Yeah, it
than
is
most
good.
of them I've had this high before.
Yeah.
It is good.
yeah, it's, man, this would get me in trouble quickly.
So
Definitely not one you need an ice cube or
No.
a drop of water.
no,
absolutely.
it's open enough. I mean, to me, you like we talked about in a past show, you can drop do a drop or two of water in there and it opens it up. But to me, man, this does not need that at all. I mean, you get a good experience.
I will say it's got a lot of flavor in there. It's got a lot of things happening. And I like that about it. I appreciate that about it.
I'm going to wait for a little bit. It's probably another 5 to 10 minutes and try it again just to see if it, out of the bottle, get a little air, see what it does.
So, I mean, there's a very full flavor profile. You get a lot up front, and then the finish, man, it doesn't disappear quickly.
Yeah.
It's not.
I've still got it on my tongue.
It's
Oh, yeah.
almost like
Yeah.
it's kind of an oily finish in a sense that it lingers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just hangs out.
It
a
It does
little.
have a good soft mouthfeel though.
Yes,
does.
absolutely. Almost velvety.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very much so.
Man, smell. So, smell is great. I mean, especially after you take a sip. I mean, there is a lot going on. It is amazing. It's a very good batch, in my opinion. Now, this is the only batch of Stagg Junior that I've had the pleasure to have, and it's kind of crazy that the first one for me is the
Yeah.
very
I don't remember
sought after batch.
which one I had. It was last year at a place in Little Rock, but it was really good.
I can't get over how smooth that is.
Yeah,
dude.
it was Buffalo Trace Bravo. I mean, that's
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a very good batch of bourbon right there.
And the other thing about it too, it pairs well with the cigar. Anytime you pair spirits and cigars, you don't want one to overpower the other.
Yeah, they need to be complementary. Without
They,
doubt.
this is pretty hot, pretty high proof, but it's still not so much that it's overpowering the cigar entirely.
Yeah.
Well, so let's start the ratings. Let's let the guests go first. Fletch, what are you thinking? 0 to 5, 5 being
give it
perfect
a-
score.
I'm going to give it a good solid 4
Good 4.
Are we doing
because
halves
there's always a little room for improvement.
we can
Although
do-
there's
there-
really no complaints that I have.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do decimals. That's fine.
I mean-
Halves or wholes?
Oh
So-
well, if we're going to do decimals, then I'll do a 4.5.
4.5. All right.
Nice.
It's
Yeah,
going to take a
that's-
lot for me to give something a perfect score.
Yeah, I
So
mean, I don't
four and a
think
half.
For me too.
Yeah, man, that's pretty high.
I think,
what do you think, Cam?
Dude, I mean, it's obviously not my bag, but for all the things we've listed here, I mean, it's got a lot of flavor to it. For me, it's hot, I don't really enjoy that. But I mean,
Spicy.
it feels good. It tastes, it's got a lot of flavor. I don't know if it tastes good, but it's got a lot of flavor. You can get a lot of things out of it. I'm going to go with a solid 3.5 just because it's not my bag, but it is great. Maybe a 4. I don't want to rag on it because, like you said, it's not bad.
It's not a gin or anything.
It's not bad, but it's just not my bag,
Yeah,
baby.
it's not clear. It has
And
some color to it.
I don't want to rag on them because of my taste.
And
It's-
speaking
it's
of the
good.
color, look at how dark that
Dark.
color. I mean, it is
Dark,
just
boys.
caramely and it's definitely not a thin.
So your official 3.5 or 4?
We'll do 4.
All right, 4.
I don't want to rag on them.
All right. So for me, I mean, just looking at the color, it is a beautiful caramel colored bourbon. I mean, it's pretty dark. Right off the front, I get lots of full flavor. I mean, you can taste the oak and it doesn't have a lot. It's not as ethanol forward as I would thought it would be with it being as high alcohol proof as it is. Now you can taste that, but it's not overpowering to me. And then the finish it stays with you for a while. There's a lot going on. It's a bold flavor. I really like it, and I'm kind of like you. It could be dangerous if you let it. So I'm going to give it a 4.5 because I'm not sure. I don't feel like I've had the perfect bourbon yet. I haven't had one that I would say hands down is the best one ever for me. But this is an amazing contender. I mean, it's probably got my top spot right
So
now.
I was
It's
gonna
definitely close.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, will it pot still or that can?
Will it pot still?
Wow.
Yeah, dude. I'm
Yeah,
telling
that's
you.
Really?
gonna catch some heat.
That's
Or-
going to get
Really?
That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
The
That's-
WPS for me
Yeah.
is it. I mean, that shit is good.
That is one man's opinion, and that's perfectly
Yeah,
fine.
absolutely.
Yeah,
There's
absolutely.
nothing wrong with that.
I hope you all don't hate my guts for saying that. I'm just saying that's closer to my bag than this. But
All right, so
Man,
what do you think?
I'm gonna start off by saying this shit is phenomenal, and if we have to bleep that out, so be it. It's phenomenal, and it's probably the best I've ever had. Well, the Old Forester line's pretty damn good too. That being said,
It's got some cherry or something in there.
I guess I'm just expecting way too much, or I'm gonna be a little harsher. I can't give it a 4.
you're a hater, dude.
Dude, I love it. It's phenomenal, but maybe I'm new. I can't go. I can go like
You're
3.75.
a skeptic.
And I'll tell you why. You know why? Because I can't find it. That's the big thing. It's a detractor. I cannot find it.
Yeah,
Never
that's
seen
fair.
one of these in the wild up until just the other day.
That's fair.
I've actually seen them several times.
Yeah.
So they're not impossible.
How long you been in the game?
Bourbon hunting, 5 years probably.
Yeah. I mean, I started year and a half, 2 years ago.
Something like that.
Yeah.
No.
So I mean, I get it. You've had more experience. I've never.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I foolishly waste my paycheck on bourbon more often than you do, maybe, I guess. I don't know. But I've seen it around. It's not impossible. Hell, Weller and Buffalo Trace are harder to find than that a lot of times.
Man,
Oh, wow.
I feel
I've
like-
seen
I
that
don't
in the
know where
wild. I've seen that in the wild way more than I've seen those other two.
Really?
Yeah, except for the liquor store in Vian on the way to 10 Killer, they always have special reserve.
Yeah.
Always.
Wow. I've never seen this
But-
in the wild other than just the other day.
So this is the first time the place we got this at. First time they ever had a ball in their store.
Really?
Yep.
Well,
Very first time.
Yeah.
And it's not because they haven't asked for it. It's
Dude,
just
I mean, it's got some
it is not
caramel
easy to
it.
get a hold of. So you know what? I didn't take that in consideration on my rating, but I think I'm just gonna, for sake of simplicity, keep it the same.
yeah.
So you're giving it a 3.
3.75. I mean,
I
the
guess you didn't
smell
understand the halves or
is
wholes part.
well.
No,
Yeah.
I like the
That's cool.
3.75.
Well, it's a half of a half.
Yeah,
It's a half and half. That's exactly right.
Yeah, I mean,
Now, you can work that down to a frog hair, I think.
yeah, I mean,
You'll
we
have-
could. I mean, but
Now, if you want to add availability into the rating, I would drop it to a 4.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, if we're gonna.
But I mean, that notwithstanding,
let me have another little sip here. Man, just in this last 10 minutes or so, just since it's been poured.
it's got a more of a fruit forward
Yes, it's
smell. It really does. You let it
It's
aerate out a
sweet,
little
it's-
bit. Man,
it's-
it makes a difference.
cherry. Is it plum? I don't
Yeah.
know. But it is. It kicks Legion's ass in smell,
Legion smells very, very good.
and it definitely kicks its ass in flavor.
Yeah, well, I will.
Yeah,
give
this
you
has
that.
this has a
Allegiant-
fantastic
Allegiant
flavor.
This is the
would
best
have
we've
a
had
1.
on the show, hands
It would be
down.
1.
100%.
So I'm sure there's something better. I've never tried a William LaRue. I mean that's probably, since I'm a wheated guy.
Unicorn.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolute unicorn.
Yeah.
But that would be as close to in my mind, as close to a 5 that at least going into it.
This is very.
Just guessing, yeah.
This is very superficial, but I mean, what do you think of their bottle? I mean, is
Oh,
their
the-
bottle something to die for? You like it?
I do. I like
the
it.
simplicity
I mean,
of it all. Or?
I like the branding. I like the design. However, there are better bottles just aesthetically out there.
Right.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
I think it's a
Little
pretty
pot
plain
still.
bottle, really. It's
And
very,
Blanton's come to mind.
to me, it's very
Yeah.
plain. It's smooth. I've seen tons of bottles that are
Yeah.
just like that. Marketing wise, as far as, putting out there the stickers and stuff on the bottle. I mean, I don't see much talent base as far as the way the bottle itself is. Stickers are fine, but it doesn't really stand out as that is awesome. I really
Right.
want one of those bottles, whether it's full or empty.
I feel like if what you got in the bottle is good, that's
Well, absolutely.
something.
I agree.
right?
I agree. But you
if-
also got to think of marketing. Is that going to grab
exactly,
my eye or no?
exactly. If you can't, I
Buffalo
mean,
would-
'cause that to me looks like 100 other bottles I've seen in my life, and I don't go hunting or looking, but that looks like every other bottle I've seen. So it wouldn't really draw you in. You might look at it and think, oh well, that looks just like that other thing I didn't like.
Right.
Just
That's
a little
where that's
aside
where
to-
doing some internet research and digging up, you know, what are the hard to find bottles around here and whatnot.
Yep.
That kind of plays into that, so
It
you
definitely
can
plays into
recognize
it.
it when you do see it.
If you're hunting for stuff and you know what you're hunting for, then
Right.
obviously you see that you're grabbing a bottle, and I will forevermore. If I see one, it's going home with me.
Yeah.
Now I'm not secondary market prices, but
No.
I'll
No.
tell you, it is really good. Let's get into the stogie now. So we are smoking an Arturo Fuente Rare Pink. This cigar, I'm really fired up about the behind-the-scenes things on this cigar.
Which
and I'll
to
tell
me
you,
is my favorite thing about the cigars, the behind the scenes.
yeah, so the reason, so Leona Fuente, which is Carlito's daughter, she spearheaded this whole thing, but this was in, they wanted to raise money for the American Cancer Society. Okay, so they ended up doing a big benefit. I mean, got lots of freaking money. It ended up that Leona, she shaved her head, like if they to help get money. Carlito shaved his mustache to get money. I mean, and these are people that are very high in the industry and that are in front of crowds and meet with other people all the time. So looking professional is part of that. The American Cancer Society turned them down. Said, we will not take your money because of your business.
Well,
That fires me up because it doesn't matter if the money's coming from tobacco, but how many other corporations put money out there for things? They may be alcohol-based corporation or tobacco-based corporation. It doesn't matter, or pharmaceuticals, whatever the case is. Money's money, and if you're raising it for a good cause, in my opinion, it shouldn't matter so much that you're going to turn it down when they're trying to help with cures for cancer and research and things of that nature. So, since American Cancer Society turned them down, they put into breast cancer research and developed here's the Rare Pink in support of breast cancer awareness and research. So
It's somewhat of a principled approach on the
I
Cancer Society. I mean,
kind of respect it.
I respect it. I mean, however,
I respect it.
I mean, hey, we're this big industry that does this thing, but I mean, just in the few moments that we got to speak to Carlito, that guy is a passionate man. He's a flame. I mean,
He's
that dude
genuine.
is a fire.
Yeah.
He's a passionate guy, a heartfelt dude, is from what I can tell, just in the few minutes that I've got to share with him. So for them to turn down a heartfelt, genuine, passionate offer by them, that's a kick in the ass. You don't like to see that, but you can understand where the weirdness would come
No,
in.
but it doesn't
We're
mean-
a cancer society and we're going to take money from tobacco. It's almost like when tobacco first started coming onto the scene, you got doctors like saying, "Yeah, smoke you a cigarette,
Yeah.
you'll feel a lot better."
Yeah.
It's just kind of it's odd.
but that
It's
doesn't
odd.
mean that the cancer came from tobacco usage, you know.
Well, no, but I mean,
it can
it's
come
not to
from
say that
it
it
can
is.
come from eating
Yeah,
too
but,
much, or things that doesn't set right with your body. I mean, there's multiple reasons why.
Yes.
you could
Stomach
get cancer.
cancers and
Yeah.
gastro cancers have been on the rise since food became ultra processed.
That-
It's a thing. It's a thing. But
So does that mean you don't take money from some
Like Kraft or
Bar S or somebody that makes a lot
where you
of
get into
processed
trouble
foods?
is you take this money from these people who have skin in the game, and it starts to look like collusion or corruption. Maybe they fund a study for you where we find results
That say
in
that
your
you-
favor.
yeah.
It starts to get weird.
I get
I'm
that.
not saying that it's the case. I'm just saying that it starts to
certainly
get
there
weird
are looks
at
of
a-
impropriety.
It's exactly right. That's all.
Yeah. I'll be
And
quite
not
honest.
that they would ever engage in that. Not that Fuente and then
Yeah,
would
we're not
ever
saying
engage
that.
in that.
No,
It's
that's
just
not
to
what we're
say.
saying. But I understand there's the appearance of, or there could be the appearance
Yeah.
of impropriety. And okay, I get it. That being said, I'll be quite honest with you guys. This cigar is just okay to me. I would rather have a curly head deluxe Maduro than this. And
And that's perfectly fine.
yeah. So
Not it's Nicaraguan fillers from Esteli.
I enjoy it.
You know, I mean, to me, it's what they're doing is like for every box of rare pinks that are sold, they're sending X amount of dollars towards
$13.
$13, yeah,
$13
towards
per box.
the research, the breast cancer research. To me, it's an amazing cause.
Absolutely.
And I just feel like if someone is not doing a political move, like I'm giving this money to this charity
Right.
for a political move, whatever it may be, I feel like if it's a genuine, heartfelt, we're out here taking our time from
Exactly.
our company and from what we do to help raise money for a great cause.
Yeah.
I feel like why not accept that? And there's no strings attached. It's
Right.
not like I give you this money, you got to tell your cancer patients that they got to smoke my cigars or something. That was not it at all. There was no underlying issue with that. They did it out of the goodness of their hearts because the Fuente family is that way. Genuine people, super nice, and here's some money. Oh no, we're not going to take that.
That's where the kick in the ass comes from. Because, like you said, heartfelt. It's a heartfelt
It really
gesture,
is.
and you turn it down. That's a kick in the ass. Hey, but look, before we run out of time, how'd you get started in cigars? How'd you get started in this whole biz? You got a West End shirt. You run a humidor.
well, before you even get into that, just give us a little bit of your, how you, your
tell us who
history.
you are.
You're not necessarily history, but
would you
a
indulge
quick bio
Well,
for those of you.
I've been smoking cigars 30 years or so. In 2015, I got a really great opportunity. Somebody backed out on a tour, a Rocky Patel tour. So I got the chance to go, went to Honduras, got to see the farm, the factories, the box factories. I hung out with Heath Hill, at the time was our rep. He's now like a national sales director or something like that.
Real quick, is he related to Hank Hill?
He is not. He's way cooler though. But hanging around Taylor's, that used to be where Winston's is.
Shout out to Winston's.
Hang out with
Shouts
Spooky over there. And then when Winston's came in, I started going over there and hanging out with Sam and Sammy and the boys. And because I'd been on that tour, Rocky Patel came to the shop for a huge event. There was 300 or so people, probably the largest cigar event I've ever been to.
At Winston's?
And at Winston's. So most of it was in the parking lot. We had a
That's
tent.
gonna be nut to butt.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, that was,
So there was a tent set up. We had Fort Smith Coffee Company and a Glazer, Southern Glazers, liquor reps were out there. And they both had a little table set up. You get coffee, hot chocolate, you get some different pours of different bourbons and whatnot. Funny story, they started kind of going together and pairing whiskeys and stuff with coffees and making some little
That's
crazy
what I'm
little
talking
drinks.
about,
But
man. That's what I'm talking
anyway,
about.
Sam and the guys were all working in there, and they were covered up. And I went inside to hit my locker, get a refill of bourbon, and Big Sam asked me to come and help them because Sammy and Heath were selling, but there was about 10 people to the two of them. So I ended up jumping behind the table and helped sell some Rocky cigars. We had a really good time, and that kind of started my journey to selling cigars. And then when we started talking about opening downtown, I had worked for them a couple of times at the Steel Horse Rally. We'd set up a pop-up, sell cigars and beers and whatnot to the bikers and the crowds. And I just kind of ended up down there and running the humidor and whatnot. And
so you're now the humidor manager at 906?
yes,
Okay, that's your
A
official
break-
title.
that's what I do full time.
A break in the action. This is the guy that holds my hand when I go into the humidor. You've heard me mention him before.
Yeah.
This is Brucey.
So
Also known as Pledge.
it's kind of a thing that it's just a passion of mine, something I enjoy. I've been on 3 tours now. If you ever get a chance to go, you should go. The education alone is worth the time and money spent. it's kind of like trying to drink from a fire hose. They give you so much information. So every time I go, I learn something new. It's a good time. And plus you get to smoke a lot of cigars. So you can find out what you like, you know, and then they tell you, you know, the process, like the Maduro process. They explain that. They show you the curing barns and how they grow it and how they plant it and how they harvest and all that stuff. So it's a really immersive experience. I mean, you're in there the whole time, and you're just around it, around the whole culture, and the entire cigar culture as a whole is just amazing.
We've touched on it here.
Getting to sit around with your friends and smoke good tobacco and enjoy it. I mean, smoking a cigar is not like smoking a cigarette. You know,
that's true.
Your cigarette, you know, you bounce out
Yeah.
the back door and hot box of menthol on your 5-minute break and then bounce back inside and go back to work.
Yeah.
This is not about that. This is about relaxation and enjoying a fine premium product, because the number of hands that have touched this tobacco before it got to us is probably around 200 to 300 people, or 200 to 300 hands have touched this.
Yeah.
From the little old men that poke the seeds in the dirt, to the guys that pull it out, to the ladies that wrap the wrapper on them and stuff like that. So it gives you a much better appreciation for the product once you've seen what goes into actually creating this thing that we light on fire in our face, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Going on a tour is way up on my bucket list.
So I assume, Cam, you would rather do a cigar tour than the Bourbon Trail.
To be quite honest.
Yeah,
with
I
you.
mean, I
if
expect
there
you
were
to
like
be
a
honest.
cigar trail, you
Yeah.
know, I mean, I'd be like, hey,
Yeah.
let's go to
The
cigar
thing
trail.
about that is Bourbon Trail we could do in a weekend.
Yeah.
And it'd
it's
be a lot
gonna-
easier to do.
It's gonna, you know,
I
it's an
would
8-hour
appreciate
drive and it's
the
gonna cost you a
hell.
little bit, but
I would appreciate the hell out of a bourbon tour. It would blow my mind, I'm sure of it. But this is the one that I like most. This is what I.
Yeah, you get
I
into
get a little
you get
bit
into
of a
the tobacco,
burn
not the spirit. side.
Yes.
So, question for you guys: if you were to go to a concert, you know, for like 45 cents, who do you think would be playing?
Nickelback.
Yeah, 50 Cent and Nickelback.
Listen. Let's not hate Nickelback. Those guys are talented.
50
They
Cent
got,
and Nickelback.
oh man,
Yeah, 50
I was
Cent.
trying to dig Nickelback right out of the hole, my man.
I don't understand why people hate on Nickelback.
Poor guys, they came right in as the meme.
Yeah.
The whole idea of memeing came in, and they got memed right out of existence. Poor fellas.
I mean,
Could you imagine?
They talk so much shit about Nickelback. It's like the bourbon people in fucking. Oops.
Well, Sam, the cooking guy, that.
Beep.
Yeah.
Shout out Sam.
Yeah, Sam. Like the bourbon guys with Dickel. I mean, or Willet Pot Still. I mean, it's.
You like them or you don't. There's no middle of the road.
No, that's
Okay,
true.
I'm-
That's true.
I like Nickelback.
I'll be honest with you. When a Nickelback song comes on, I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah,
It feels
exactly.
good.
It does.
It
It's-
feels good.
There's a reason they call it pop. It's popular.
It's
I mean,
popular,
it's catchy.
and it feels good.
It's kind of like Taylor Swift.
You
You
know,
know?
you find yourself doing this.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
you
no,
son of a bitch, it's
don't be
Nickelback.
putting them up there with Taylor now.
No,
you're a
I
Taylor
just
fan,
gotta
are you?
say, shake it off.
Really?
Taylor's my jam. Yeah.
This is getting bad. Hey, we have kept you guys long enough, so we appreciate your support.
Fletcher, you gonna come back for another episode?
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down.
All right. So, thank you guys for your support, and really, please, when you go to our videos, please hit that like button. That really helps our channel a lot. It helps our videos get noticed by people that aren't subscribed, and it pulls us up on the list higher. So we want to continue to grow. As of this episode, I think we're at 117 subscribers. So when we hit 200, we are going to do a bigger giveaway. We will have 3 winners. You guys are going to love what we have in store for you guys on the giveaway prizes and everything. So, and then we also have a potential that we're probably going to do some live streams and stuff at a particular local business. So once we get more details, we will release that to you. And we're going to just do a whole starter package. You guys are going to be fan junkies by the time you leave there.
And of course, you're already a winner if you watched the show in the first place.
I
That's
mean,
exactly
I
right.
mean,
And
That's
I hope you
exactly
guys,
right.
I really
So-
feel like we're putting stuff out there people can learn from that maybe you didn't know this stuff. Even if it's useless knowledge, at least you have that in your toolbox.
I don't care if you even learn anything. If you're able to have a laugh, take away something.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, come on.
Yeah, just
So,
let you know.
That's why we're here.
Enjoy
We're,
it like we enjoy it.
Yeah,
Come on.
I hope you're enjoying it as much as we are because we're having a good time.
Like the
So-
French guy enjoying himself at the beach, wearing his Philippe flops.
You guys have a good one. We'll see you on the next episode.